Hello everyone, welcome to another Hairbrain Live. I'm Michael Pizzanidis from Slade Hair Education. We have the absolutely beautiful Maria with us today, who's going to allow us to do a really cool haircut on her, so I'm super excited. Curly techniques, it's a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot today. Behind the camera we have George Aguileros, who's always here to support us, and he will be asking you any questions you have, guys. So if you have any questions moving forward, just pop them in the comments, let us know where you're tuning in from, and what we'll do is we'll start showing you this cool technique. So Maria, I'm just going to spin you around. Sorry. And what we've done here is we've sectioned off in some basic sections of doing 2 in the back and 2 in the front. So it's your basic pie sections, 2 in the front and 2 in the back, and we've subdivided, taking a nice horizontal section to start cutting in our length in the back. So remembering that hair jumps a lot when it curls up, what we're going to do is we're going to be allowing the hair to be combed nice and straight, but I'm always thinking to myself, what length is going to end up after I finish cutting it. Now there's different types of curls, and different types of curls will jump a different amount. One of the best ways to actually see is for the client to come in with naturally curly hair. Okay, so if your client comes in with naturally curly hair, what you'll do is you'll see the length that it is naturally when it curls. Okay, so let's imagine this is dry, and let's imagine you want it to cut it there. What you can do is you can pick it up in that place and pull it down. You see how much hair you have to cut for it to be placed in the place you want. So when the hair's dry, you can pull the hair down, stretch it, see where it falls in the place you want and where it comes back to. So this is a good way of figuring out how short the hair is going to end up when it curls up. But normally it jumps at least 1/3 of the length. So at least 1/3 of the length normally goes when you cut curly hair. So what I always like to do is look at the hair and analyze it when it's wet, see how curly it is, do a little pinch test to see where the hair is going to fall, and then work with that in mind. So once you have the length that you're happy with in your first section, what you can do is you can continue to subdivide horizontally, okay, taking the hair out of your way each time. And then what we're going to do is we're going to continue to add the hair into the length. So what I'm doing now, guys, for those of you that are just tuning in, is a really cool curly technique. What we're going to do is we're going to start by by cutting the outline, and then afterwards we're going to be doing the layering internally. So right now it's going to be a round outline, so it's going to become straight in the back, but it's going to be shorter in the front. Okay? So guys, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if you have any questions. Beautiful. So I'm combing the hair down, I'm looking at the length in the fingers, so I'm checking that I'm continuing to cut onto my guideline each time. And just working our way back to make sure all the hair's being cut into a really nice, clean one length.
Okay, I've got our first questions.
Right.
The first one is from Samantha. Is her hair wavy or curly? Would you cut wet on coily and kinky hair as well?
Yes, so I always like to actually cut the hair when it's wet. So this hair is curly, and you'll see when we start to dry it, when we show you the final result pictures, that it's actually quite curly hair. And I would always cut the hair wet first, and then afterwards, when it's dry, I'll personalize it. That's just my way of working. I wouldn't say it's wrong to cut hair dry. Obviously, it's a great way of doing it. I just personally feel like I have more control and I can see the hair better when it's wet. Now, you know, obviously for me as well, it's very difficult when someone comes in with wavy, curly hair, because if it's not being dried completely naturally, you always have a problem where maybe the way you're cutting it isn't true to the real texture of the hair. So if I give you an example, my curls look very different after I've just woken up. So if I came to the salon and I had just woken up, my curls are quite flat, you know, they're quite squished onto the head where I've been sleeping. And if you cut it thinking that it naturally sat like that, it would be wrong, because it doesn't naturally sit like that. So I always feel like wetting the hair down will allow the hair to take its natural texture, its natural form, without worrying about, is it just the way that they slept, or is that really how their hair's reacting? And so for those reasons and a few more, I personally like to cut on wet hair.
So you basically answered the second question also.
Okay, good, I like that.
Do you always cut the hair or the curly hair wet?
Yeah.
So you answered that.
So I do, I always cut the hair wet, and then when it's dry, I can do more personalizing afterwards. So thank you so much for the questions, guys. We really appreciate them. We love answering questions, especially technical questions. So any questions you do have, please feel free. If you like the answers, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and share. We really appreciate the support and the love everyone gives. So a huge thumbs up for that, please.
I think I have our first request for next time, actually.
Oh, nice. Good. I like that.
It's from Bernard. Please do graduate layers tutorial, please. I am a student in Malta.
Okay, very cool. Well, I'll tell you what, who is it that asked?
It's Bernard.
Hi, Bernard. Well, if you go onto our website, slatehair.com, so that's slate, S-L-A-T-E, hair.com, you can find about 15 different tutorials for free on our website. So once you go on slatehair.com, you can see 15 free videos, and we have a lot of varieties of long hair, short hair, graduated, straight. So there's a lot of different things that we can show you as well. Okay. So, we've done quite a few graduated looks for you to check out on the website. So, you know, feel free to go on it and have a look. Like I said, the videos are free, so you're more than welcome to go and check them out. And there's a lot on there for you. Cool, so what I'm doing is I'm coming to the second last section, and for those of you that are just tuning in, we're doing this really cool curly haircut. It's going to sit just on the shoulders, and what we're doing is we're just cutting the outline currently. So I'm pulling all the hair down, and I'm cutting it like it's a one length. So at the moment we're not looking to have any layers in it. We will afterwards, but for now I'm not focusing on the layering. I like to focus on the outline first, and then afterwards I like to go in and work on the layering at the end, because that way I feel like I can see how much weight needs to be removed. Sometimes when I used to do layering first and then the outline, what I realized was I hadn't layered it correctly for the outline length. So to avoid that, what I do is I do the outline first, and that way when I layer it, I know that 100% it's going to be the right amount of layering for the length that I've chosen for the client. And obviously we all know as hairdressers that length and choice of length is very, very important for the client. If you get the choice of length wrong, clients normally are a little bit upset.
Oh. Our next question.
Good, I like questions.
How much tension are you putting on the hair?
So I like to put a lot of tension on curly hair, I really do. I always find that tension can make the hair blend better. So what I like to do is I always like to have a fair amount of tension when I work. I get more control and everything blends better. So what we're not looking for here on curly hair is a very clean, straight, no graduation outline. What we're actually looking for is just something that blends nicely. And so what we'll be doing is by adding the tension in, we will get a little bit of graduation in the outline, but we don't actually care, to be honest, because we're not worried about creating it. We're not going to have this as a straight look that has to have no graduation. So the little bit of tension just allows the ends to spring up more, and because they spring up a bit more, it just blends a bit better, and the outline is not so weighty. So I'm not looking for this to have a lot of weight. You can see that already from the back is a little bit of graduation in it, and that's from the tension. So that's going to be really nice for us afterwards when we're layering it, because the ends are already a little bit lighter than they were before.
Okay, today you answered two questions in one.
Oh, good. I'm way ahead of myself here. What is going on, guys? Guys, if you're enjoying my answers, please give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share. You know, please ask us some more questions. We do love answering technical questions. We're kind of hair nerds, we're kind of hair geeks, you know, as all craft hairdressers are. We know that everyone on Hairbrained is as well, so we know we're in good hands here.
Can you tell your website again, please?
So what I'll do is I'll spin the chair around, and Maria's going to be our beautiful model. So if you go slatehair.com, so forget the education, slatehair.com, you can find our website with free tutorials on the haircuts that we've done. So we've got about 15 up already, but we've got another 30 to upload. So every week we'll be uploading a new video to the website for free.
We can post it in the comments later, correct?
Yeah, of course we can.
All right.
Of course we can. So also if you just Google us, Slate Hair Education, or you Google Slate Hair Academy, you will find us. Beautiful. So what I'm doing is I've done the back, the length I want, and what I'm doing now is I'm just connecting the sides to the length that's the same on the other side. So the back is now connected to the sides. So we just cut the length in the back, and now we're connecting it with the length on the sides. And once we've done this, what we're going to do is we're going to start to do our forward graduation, or the front bit, whatever you want to call it. First thing I'm going to do is spring the beautiful Maria around and start checking the length. So obviously once you've done the sides, what I always do is I always pull the hair down and I check that the length is correct. I always like to check as I work because it's easier to find problems and resolve them before they become too big. So it's very important to just check, and if you find that it's just a little bit heavy in one area, you can always come back and refine that. So that's solving the problem now before it gets worse. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start to clean up the front. So Maria did cut her own hair, just a little bit in quarantine, which is fine. I think all of us hairdressers right now are all doing fixer-up jobs, you know. We're finding people that have kind of cut their own hair in quarantine and maybe need a little bit of fixing. And I really enjoy that. That's one thing that I love doing is kind of fixing up haircuts, because I think anyone can kind of get a haircut that's long and take it really short, because you can just do whatever you want. You have a clean canvas. But if you have to try and tweak something and not cut a lot off, it's even harder. So I find the challenge exciting to be able to take off minimal and get the most results. So if you just keep your head up for me, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cleaning up the front. Now, there's a lot of weight here in different lengths because Maria cut her own hair, and we're going to be cleaning it up. So I'm going to be coming from the corner, just from the, so if we see that the section, it goes to just behind the ear, and what we'll be doing is we'll be combing it down and connecting it. Now, the truth is that we don't want to pull the hair up at this point. We're still pulling the hair down, and we're looking to connect it like it's a one length. So we're not looking to create a lot of elevation at this point. We just want to remove the weight and take it out like it's a one length. So we're pulling the hair down and we're cutting it in.
Mike, are you using cutting agent or just water?
So we have put some incredible milk on. So it's a 12-in-1. And this does a lot of different things, but it's basically something we can use to help prep the hair while we're going to be working with it. So it's making it a lot easier for me to work with now as well. And then what we'll do is we'll be adding other products in as we work and when we're looking to dry the hair. So I'm just finding the length that I want. So we're just opening up the front now and trying to balance it from where Maria had done her own quarantine haircut. So we're just removing a little bit of the weight that we have in the front, and we check the balance, and that's good if I say so myself. That's always scary when you're going to check the balance. You're like, please let it be the same, please let it be the same. Beautiful. I like it. Georgia's joking on my jokes. That's good. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be taking diagonal sections. So So if I just move this around, we're taking diagonal sections, we'll work a little bit back and we're bringing the hair forward. And what we're going to do is we're going to be adding the hair into the front. And we're going to see, maybe there's going to be no hair to cut, maybe it's going to be a little bit of hair to cut. But what we want to do is we want to have a clean baseline. So what I mean by baseline is a clean outline. We want to just make sure that the hair, wherever it falls in, is connected at the outline now. And so we don't have any stray bits. So it's a clean canvas of an outline. So once I start layering, I know that it's balanced and it's the length I want in the outline. So it makes my life a lot easier to go through the whole haircut now and just make sure that it's all nice and blended and connected. Let me know if that makes sense, guys. Let me know if you're following this. If you want a little recap, I'll be doing one in about 1 minute once I finish both sides. We'll just explain to you again how we got to this point, because we'll be finished with our outlines and we'll be going into our layering technique. Beautiful. Don't forget to let us know where you're tuning in from, what country you're in, what city you're in. Beautiful.
So we have people tuning in from Pakistan, from UK, from Budapest, San Diego, California, New Jersey, Israel, Greece, Austin,
Nice. Very nice, guys.
California, South Africa,
Beautiful.
Switzerland,
Hello, world.
Boston, UK.
Well, you know what, guys, we can't wait to be back on the road again and traveling again once this whole COVID situation finishes. But there we go. So, what I'll do, guys, is I'll give you a little bit of a recap. I'm Michael Pitslades. This is the beautiful Maria. We have the lovely George behind the camera for you. We've just finished the outline of this haircut. So what I did was I started in the back and I cut the length that I felt was right within the back first. I then brought the hair to the sides and both sides and connected it in from the length I had at the back. So the length at the back was the guideline for the length on the sides. I then brought the hair forwards and started to cut it up and connect it into the length we had. So right now we have a clear baseline for the whole of this haircut. And what we can then do is start to work internally on our layering. What I'm looking to do with this is I'm looking to slim the top and the sides. And the only way to slim the top and the sides is to start working through a layer in the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a center section first. We're going to move the hair out of the way, lift the hair up, and we're going to start to cut from the front to the back. And so what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to sling it on the top. So I'm taking the lengths that we have in the top, and I'm trying to slim that hair down.
So I have to now, because everybody wrote down their countries. So from Hawaii, Redwood, New York, from Ireland, US St. Louis, India, Poland. Oh, now I'm jealous. Good morning from sunny San Francisco, California.
Nice.
Here it's raining, almost. UK, India, Polska, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Hungary, Georgia, Malta, Derry, and Argentina, Slovenia. And one request again from Ursula. Can you cut her hair, please?
Can I cut her hair, please? Well, I think I'm doing that. No. Any country you heard that you like, Maria? Anywhere you want to go?
California.
California. Okay. Anyone from California that wants to invite us to do some hair education, please reach out. Maria needs a holiday really badly. Okay, so we already have the model sorted, guys. Don't worry about that. Beautiful. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm trying to remove the bulk of hair from the top. So I'm pulling the hair at the moment just into the center section. So I'm not looking to actually work to the previous or anything like that. I'm just pulling all the hair to the center right now, because what I want to do is I want to remove the majority of hair that I have and make sure that it's a nice clean panel to work with on top. And so once I've got all the hair gone and it's nice and clean on top, what I'll then be doing is working across horizontally after that in order to make sure that my shape is okay. Okay, so all the hair has just gone up and been connected into that center section. What I'll then do now is I'll be going through the other side and I'll be doing the same thing. So once this top section is done with the vertical, you will see that I will start working through horizontally in order to remove weight as well. Okay. So we're looking to make something that's fairly slimming on curly hair. So you want to avoid triangle shapes, you want to avoid things that leave too much weight in the top of the head, because the top of the head is where you will find that mushroom. So anyone who's got curly hair knows exactly what I'm talking about when we say mushroom. I think everyone that has curly hair has had the mushroom haircut, you know, or the triangle haircut, where there's too much weight on top. And so what we like to do is we like to make sure that it's nice and flat on top, nice and slim. This gives us a chance to make a nice flat haircut that doesn't have too much weight in the outlines. Beautiful, so thank you guys for letting us know where you're tuning in from. Obviously, let us know if you have any questions about this haircut or any haircut for that matter. We'll be more than happy to answer them.
I've got our next question when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you cutting square shape in the top?
So currently, I'm not. Currently, I'm putting everything to the middle, but I will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work through afterwards, and I'm going to make sure that the shape is more square. So if you bear with me till I finish this section, what I'll do is I'll show you how we're going to make sure that it's nice and square.
Why are you first over directing everything to the middle and then do it square?
Because I just feel like it's easier to remove the majority of weight. So I'd rather go through it, remove the excess weight, and then it's even easier for me to take my sections and cut across horizontally. So now that I've actually worked through the top and I've squared it, or at least I've removed the weight, what I'll do now is I'll go back again and I'll make sure that from this way we're square. So we were working square across this way, and now what we're going to do is we're going to come across horizontally and make sure it's square this way. And then we'll move on to the sides and the back. So I take diagonal sections, lifting the hair up, and making sure that it's nice and square on top. So what I'll do is I'll show you my sectioning as well. So what we can see is from the top, we're just coming across all the way down, okay? What we then do is we're lifting the hair up, and we're starting to make sure that we cut across horizontally. And we'll keep doing this all the way to the back until there's no hair left to cut.
Our next question is,
Yeah, I love questions.
very thick hair, will you thin it anyway?
So we will do a little bit of texturizing, but not too much. What we're going to do is we're going to really try and make a strong shape, and then what we can do afterwards is start to personalize it and remove bits and pieces internally, because what I feel like is if there's no strong shape, if there's no strong haircut underneath it, it just can look quite messy. Whereas if you do a really strong shape and then you break it up, it still looks messy, but it has some underlying structure to it. It has some shape to it. And what you find is it grows out a little bit nicer because that structure is there. So I always like to kind of make things and then break things. I don't like to break them before I've made them. And as they say, you know, destruction is easy and quick, but building things is more hard. So I always like to build things properly, have a strong structure to play with, and then work my way. So what I've done is I've finished the cross, and what we've done is we've done everything square across this way now, and across this way. What we want to do now is we want to start removing the weight from the sides of the hair cutting back. So what I'll do is I'll start from the back, and then we will start to remove that weight that we're going to find in the back. Okay, so I'm just going to use 2 clips to segregate the back. And what I like to do is I take a section from the top of the crown to the back at the bottom to the nape. And what this will do is it gives me a very clear bit of hair that I'm working with, from the very top of the head to the very bottom. And this way I can see how much weight is inside, and I can decide how much I want to remove. So depending on how much weight I want to remove, depends on where I start. The more I want to remove the weight from the outline, the more lower I start at the bottom. So if I really want to remove the weight from the bottom, I have to start lower, work my way up, and remove the length inside. Beautiful. So we can see how the ends have become much more sparse, and we've connected it to the layering that we have on top. Okay, so that's nice. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll be working our way around the haircut. So we're taking pivoting sections from the back. So if we can see that we've come again from the top of the head to the bottom. And again, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing weight. Now, what I want to be careful here is if I layer below where the ear is, I'm going to be creating a hole. So I want to make sure that my layering sits from more above.
So are you over directing at the back, or you just elevating higher?
I am over directing back because I want to save the length here. So I'm actually using that over direction back in order to save more length behind the ear. Because I'm very much aware that if I overlay that point, what I'll do is I'll create a hole where there's no hair. So your over direction can save length, and where you start from can save length. So I'm lifting it up higher now, and what I'm looking to do now is I'm looking to start layering from not too low, but just above the ear. I'm going to be pulling the hair out again, lifting it up, finding the point that I want to start layering from, and start layering the sides, and then connecting it to the length that we have on the top. Okay. And then doing the same thing. So I'm not actually subdividing my previous section, because I really want to be able to see my guideline from what I've done before. I want to make sure that what I'm doing is I'm connecting it, and I can visually see where it's falling onto the head shape.
So you're like over directing to the previous.
So now it is more over directing from the previous, but the most important thing is to visually look at it. You know, when you move around the hair, what you're doing is you're removing weight. And so what we've got to think is, as we're moving, where do we want to remove weight from? So I wanted to remove weight from the bottom and the top. Here on the sides, I don't want to remove the weight from the bottom because I will lose my outline, and I want to layer more internally. And so if I don't want to start cutting more from the bottom, I have two options. One is over direct, which I will do more back, and the other one is to elevate more, which I will do as well. And so by pulling the hair back and elevating more, what I'm doing is I'm saving the length at the bottom, and I'm removing more length from the top. So you have to think about it a little bit. You have to see where the hair's falling, and if you actually like what it's doing or not. So you have to think to yourself, what am I trying to achieve? And is this what I'm doing? Where's the hair going to be falling? And I think that's very important when you cut hair, is to think about where the hair is going to fall at the end of the day. Because if you cut it somewhere in the air, it will always fall in a certain place. And so we have to constantly have that thought in our mind, not just where we're cutting, but where we're going. So where is the hair going to fall when I'm finished this section that I'm working on?
So we have Sarah. Thank you so much for this curly education. I'm a new grad for cosmetology and barbering. This is gold to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That really means a lot. Really means a lot. As we said, we have a lot of free tutorials on our website, so go and check them out if you like this video. There's plenty more to see that we've done as well.
And a few questions.
Yeah, go for it.
The one is, what your favorite scissors?
Yeah, my favorite scissors is, I think, Yasakas, but these are hierarchies. But these are hierarchies that I was given as a gift from the 1994 Hair Olympics, believe it or not.
1994.
94, exactly. Bet you there's some people who are watching who weren't even born then. Were you born in 94? No.
No.
There we go. So just for us oldies, us golden oldies, to feel a bit older, that's all.
The next question is, are you rounded the sides?
So the sides are not quite rounded, you know, they've really been taken way out from the sides. So it does have this round feeling because we've cut the front already to make it more round, but it's not by definition a classic round layer as such. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lift up the top. So I'm going to subdivide the top again. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be looking to remove just the very corner from the front. And what that'll do is it'll allow the hair to sit a little bit softer. So by bringing this forward and removing that weight there, what we're going to do is we're going to allow the hair to sit much better as it grows out. Cool. So we have a very cute little fringe here. We don't really want to take much of it off. We just want to soften it slightly. Just trying to get the right amount of hair in it. Beautiful. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with the pointing technique just to create softness. So this is like an itty bitty baby fringe. It's very, very small and very delicate. Suits Maria a lot.
So do you ever twist cut the internal shape?
No, I don't always really twist cut the internal shape. I find twist cutting for me, I don't really see where the hair's going to fall. And especially if I'm looking for a very specific place, it's very hard when you start twisting the hair to understand where exactly it's going to fall. So for me, anything that gives me more clarity is going to be better. That's why I don't really like to start moving the hair around too much away from its natural, because I feel like I lose a little bit the precision that I'm looking for. So if I can't understand when I'm cutting where the hair's going to be falling, then I don't cut it. So it's very important for me that I understand where the hair's going to fall. Therefore, these extreme over directions and twisting, I find that you can't have the same precision. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to lighten the top. So I'm just going to be pointing into the top because I want to lighten that shape on the top. And what that's going to do is it's just going to soften the top and it's going to avoid that kind of mushroomy feeling. So anyone again who has curly hair knows what a mushroom feeling is in a curly haircut. And normally whenever you get a mushroom, it's that weight that sits on the top of the head that creates the mushroom feeling. So by always cutting the top again last, what you're doing is you're making sure to avoid having that problem of it having a bit of a feeling of a mushroom. So always when you see a corner, so if you have a client that walks into your salon and you see that they have a bit of a mushroom haircut, I want you to do this one thing. Lift the hair up at the top and you'll find a corner. And that corner is what falls and gives you the mushroom feeling. So if you see a haircut that feels a bit mushroomy on top, just lift the hair up, find the corner and remove it. And that will help soften the whole mushroom feeling.
So, love from Evelyn. Thank you very much. You are the best of the best.
Thank you, Evelyn, so much. You have to come on one of our courses one day, Evelyn. Evelyn was booked in on a course with us, but unfortunately, due to the lockdowns, we had to cancel the classes. But we're really looking forward to getting back in the new year.
We will get back on track slowly, slowly. Just patient.
Looking good. I like it. I'm just going to remove a little bit more weight from here, and then we're done. Beautiful. So there's just a tiny bit of personalizing that I've done. just to make it a bit more flowy and free. That's looking really nice and cute. So what I'd like to do now is start to put in a little bit of product. I'm going to put in a little bit of the whipped cream, milkshake whipped cream. It does smell amazing. I wish you guys could smell what it smells like as well. Beautiful. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some of this product in, which is just going to help lighten the hair and make it smoother, and it's going to make less frizz. So for me, it's a lot about the feeling of having moisture in the hair and the feeling of it being smooth as well. It's those two things that I absolutely love about this product that's going to help make it just really easy to work with. So I'm being quite sparse with it. I'm just using my fingers, but I'm really trying to make sure that it's going everywhere as well. The only problem with this product is it smells so good you kind of want to eat Maria's head right now, but I don't think Maria's going to appreciate that one.
What kind of mousse is this?
So this is a really nice no-rinse conditioning and protecting, but I just find that it really helps the hair become smoother, softer, less frizzy. It helps the hair form, it adds moisture to it. It's what I use in my hair. Really, really amazing product. So it's like a leave-in conditioning mousse, but I use it like a curl cream. I use it as an everyday conditioner. I use it to make my hair smell nice. So it's a really multi-use product. So, you know, a lot of the time you use a mousse and it's kind of like sticky and really, I don't know, just like, what's the right word for it when it gets really crispy? Yeah, crispy. So this one's not. This one's really soft. It lets the hair look like there's nothing in it, like it's just natural, and it just sits really nicely. So I'm just working it through section by section, but very roughly with my fingers. I just want to make sure that the product goes everywhere and there's enough of it in, and then I'm happy and I can move on to the next phase. You don't really have to worry about overdoing it with this product because it is a leave-in conditioner as opposed to an actual mousse, curling mousse. So as a leave-in conditioner it's much softer on the hair. So you can use quite a lot of this and it doesn't feel like it's overdone or there's too much in it.
So I've got a question.
Yeah.
What is the shape you created? Because I missed the beginning.
Yeah, of course. So it's a round outline with a square layer internally. So what we've done is, I'm going to do another lovely little recap in a second for you, but essentially what we've done is we've done a really nice rounded outline in the bottom, and then what we've done is we've come across and squared it inside. And I'll give you guys a nice little recap. For anyone that's just tuning in, we're almost there, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually dry it afterwards and post the end result in about 5 minutes. But what I'll do is I'll let you guys see the end result now. I'll explain the way that we've done it and what shape it is, and then we'll dry it off for you and post a picture of the end results as well. Almost see that in the shape as well. What we'll be doing is we'll be drying it slightly for you, just to get a little bit of the shape in, and then we'll be drying the rest afterwards. We're just going to be using some of the amazing lightning as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the last bit of drying off camera, but what I'll do is I'll explain to you guys how we did this haircut, and then we'll dry it for you and show you the end results as well afterwards. But that's looking really cute. If you want to stand up for me, Maria. So guys, what we're going to do is I'm just going to explain to you the way that we've done this haircut. So first things first, I'm just going to spin you around, Maria, and we started from the back. What we did was we worked through a square line first in the back. So we just worked through a square line in the back. We made sure it was the length we wanted and the balance was right. Once we got both sides done, we went onto the side and we pulled the hair over and we connected it on the side. So from the length in the back, we brought it over to the side and we used that as a guideline to come through and cut the sides. Then what we did was we came from the corner of the ears and we worked our way up in order to open up the front and make it more balanced, because Maria may have cut her hair herself in quarantine and it may need a little fix up. So what we did was once we cut through the front, we then had the outline complete. And this way I knew where I wanted to do the layers. So what we did was we came from the top and we cut the top square, and then we came across horizontally and we also cut the top square. So the whole of the top was square from this way and also from this way across. Okay? So we have so far a round line with a nice square layer on top. What we then did was we came from the back and we also squared the back. And what we then did is as we came to the sides, we squared the sides. So we started squaring the back and then we came through and squared the sides. So once we had the top became the guideline to then remove the weight from the sides, therefore slimming the hair down in the sides and the back. I think it was very cool. I hope you guys liked it. As always, it's been a lot of fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let the beautiful Maria do a little bit of modeling. So what we're going to do is she's going to be able to take the mask, but I'm going to get out of the camera's way. Beautiful. Cool. Amazing, guys, as always. Thank you so much for tuning in. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Goodbye 2020. Hello 2021. We'll see you guys for our monthly Hairbrain Lives starting January next year. Peace and love, everyone. We'll see you guys soon. Good night from us. Bye.